I'm Monica Tran, an MS student in Industrial and Organizational Psychology. My ultimate goal is to help organizations make research and data-driven decisions to improve effectiveness, job satisfaction, and leadership. I've been parts of various projects, including consulting for a leading enterprise SaaS company. I've worked on analyzing, presenting, and reporting team effectiveness data to improve team effectiveness and tenure.
And I'm Nicolo Tocchini. I'm also an MS student in industrial and organizational psychology. I'm currently working at a tech startup as part of their HR and talent acquisition teams. I worked on projects related to IO research and AI, human resource best practices, and studied coursework relating to training and learning and development. Both of us share an interest in organizational development and implementing L&D using training research to improve diversity and inclusion in the workplace, as well as other important components of job efficiency and satisfaction.
Today's quote is, "When a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower." Alexander Dehager. Today's episode is about training and development.
Yeah, so in today's episode, we'll dive into a scenario with a problem and then talk about building a training program together. In this scenario, we'll be helping a company transform its workplace culture by focusing on DEI training. We'll talk about the company's challenges, how we design the training, and how training best practices can be used to improve your organization.
The company we'll be developing a training program for is a fiction scenario, so any similarities to real organizations are purely circumstantial and unintentional. So let me just set the scene. Company X, a software development company, is facing challenges in fostering an inclusive workplace. Common comparisons are made between work culture and a frat culture. Women in the workplace feel marginalized and treated with apathy, as well as disrespect, leading to a toxic work environment where performance and turnover are negatively impacted.
Yeah, and in fact, this isn't an isolated problem. In 2021, an IGDA survey revealed that 74% of game industry professionals, which often use a lot of software engineers, reported a lack of equal opportunities, especially when it comes to gender. It's important to note that training to improve workplace inclusion can be quite the undertaking, and addressing these issues head on is crucial to developing and improving job satisfaction, performance, and retention.
A needs analysis is a systematic process used to identify and analyze the gap between the current state and the desired state of knowledge, skills, or abilities within the organization or individual. It determines the training, it determines what training is necessary to address the identified gaps effectively. This lays the foundation for designing, developing, and delivering training programs.
As part of the needs analysis, we focus on determining which employees would benefit the most from DEI training. And this component is called the task analysis. It's not always possible to train everyone, whether that be due to cost restrictions of the company or other limiting factors such as time. So, because of this, it's important to determine what roles should be prioritized to maximize the training's effectiveness. Furthermore, part of the needs analysis is the person level analysis. We took a look into account the personal experiences shared by employees. Many women reported feeling discriminated against, with less experienced male employees being promoted over them. HR is seen as more focused on company success rather than advocating for its employees, which contributes to the ongoing negative culture.
For this DEI training, we want to implement several modalities. First, we used advanced organizers to prepare employees mentally and emotionally. Advanced organizers can implement instructional tools or techniques designed to help learners link their prior knowledge to the new information they'll be encountering. These are typically presented before the learning materials and created a mental framework, enhancing comprehension and retention. This will help set the stage for deeper engagement and understanding. Interactive workshops can be crucial to solidifying the skills and knowledge that will be learned during the training. So we want to include interactive workshops and a group problem solving activities in our program. It's not just about knowledge transfer, but creating a safe environment for the participants to reflect on their biases and personal experiences.
We also used web-based e-learning modules that incorporated text, images, and videos, ensuring trainees could engage with the material in different ways. A multimedia approach helps capture learner attention and ensures information is retained. And not only that, but working with remote employees, a web-based e-learning based practice can be really helpful for all organizations.
This training takes place over 2 days with morning and evening sessions that include presentations, interactive activities, and group discussions. By splitting the material and allowing time for reflection and role playing, we ensure participants can apply the learning to real world solutions.
Now I'd like to cover the theories and models that we kind of use as sources of inspiration for the development of this training process. Learning and development is not just restricted to the timeline of a training course. It can continue beyond the classroom setting. Um, the following theories and models that I'm going to speak on are some of which that an individual working in L&D can keep in mind in order to continue ongoing improvement in their workplace. So the first one is the idea of lifelong learning, which is fostered by Krager and Wolfson. And the idea of lifelong learning really plays into how we approach training in general. By moving learning beyond one-off workshops, we can embed it as a continuous process. In fact, some companies encourage lifelong learning practices by providing employees with learning and development stipend to fund their informal self-initiated studies. By encouraging these lifelong learning practices, companies may see improved returns on performance and improvements in employee retention. The employee feels cared about, and the company will see those improvements every day. The next theory that I'd like to cover, the next model I'd like to cover is Krager's learning models. So there are three notable models of learning that one can consider when working in training and development for employees. The first generational learning model expects the instructor to be wholly responsible for the trainee's development. It is often associated with behaviorist theories, where one learns to demonstrate a particular response as a result of certain stimuli. This learning model is a simplistic approach to instruction and serves as a basis for understanding how training can develop employees. The second generation learning model shifts the focus to the learner and is often called the cognitive constructivist approach. It highlights the importance of trainees constructing their own understanding and moving beyond passive approach to learning that the first generation learning model emphasizes. Lastly, the third generation learning model represents a further evolution in learning theories, focusing on social learning, experiential learning, and situated cognition. It builds upon the cognitive and constructivist principles of the second generation and emphasizes learning as a dynamic, collaborative, and contextual process. Often called the social constructivist approach to learning, third generation learning model integrates technology, interaction, and real world relevance into the learning experience, emphasizing the role other learners may play in each other's understanding of the material and content of the training through discussion and interaction.
When we look at training, one key element is knowledge transfer, the ability to apply what's learned. According to Grossman and Salas' study in 2011, trainees who have strong cognitive abilities, self-efficacy, and motivation are more likely to transfer their learning into their work environment. To make sure knowledge transfer happens, the work environment needs to provide cues for new skills and opportunities for practice. It's also crucial to provide performance feedback and clear goals.
So, to wrap up, we've seen how a tailored DEI training program can address toxic workplace culture and improve employee satisfaction and performance and retention. By focusing on both individual and organizational needs, we can create a lasting change. We also shared some relevant theory and modeling based on practical research that can help you in understanding and addressing learning and development in your own organization. Once again, I'm Nico.
And I'm Monica. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you find this episode insightful. If you're working on improving work culture, remember, it's not just about fixing the people, but creating an environment that supports growth for everyone.